Nothing formal, everyone can just start with your questions.
Ouais. Bonjour, ça va bien?
Tu disais avoir un peu de crainte, mais que tu espérais rester à Vancouver. Comment accueilles-tu cette décision?
Ben, ça fait partie de la business du hockey. Évidemment, c'est jamais facile de quitter un endroit qui me tenait à cœur. Pendant 12 ans, j'ai habité ici. Mes enfants sont nés ici, les trois. Ma femme et moi, on adore la ville. On a été traités très bien par l'organisation depuis le début. Donc, c'est jamais facile de dire bye à ça, mais en même temps, là, j'ai un nouveau challenge, puis je suis excité d'aller à Ottawa. Je te dirais que c'est des émotions partagées présentement. Sur le coup, évidemment, un peu de tristesse. Tu questionnes un peu si c'est la bonne décision ou non. Par contre, aussi un côté aussi que très excité d'avoir la chance de les compétitionner pour une Coupe Stanley.
The emotions of this day for you after 12 years here in Vancouver?
No, it's really emotional day. It's a little bit of mixed emotions. After practice, talking to my agent about the deal with Ottawa, how it came up really quickly, and I had to make a decision. Obviously, before that, I weighed the pros and cons, and when I've looked at it, Ottawa, I thought Ottawa was going to be a good fit. They have a great team. They got a lot of good pieces. And they're going to be competing maybe in the Stanley Cup playoffs if we can have a good final 20 games. So that's the good part. But the sad part was I care a lot about this team. I've been here for 12 years. They gave me my first chance. I had lots of good memories, lots of good friendships in the locker room. I met a lot of great people throughout the years, starting with Francesco and the brothers, and all our coaches, all our staff, our medical staff, or the community side of things, all my great teammates throughout the years. So it'll be tough to let them go and move on to another team, but so a lot of mixed emotions today.
Well, you had provided a list to management. Did you have to put Ottawa into the mix? And if so, why?
No, that's not how it really worked out. I think me and Jim, we met after the Philly game last Sunday. We had a really respectful conversation. I said before that I totally understand the situation as becoming a free agent at the end of the year. So obviously he's got to do his due diligence. He's got to do what's best for the organization. And we had just a respectful conversation. So for the details, he had some conversation with my agents as teams were calling or inquiring about me. It's not like I submitted a list or he gave me a list. As it went along, my agent and Jim had some conversations, and in the last few days, Ottawa popped up and thought it was a good fit.
There was interest from other teams. Did that factor into you getting a 2-year extension?
I'm not too sure how all that all planned out. You'd have to ask my agent or Jim or the Mr. Dorion in Ottawa. There was a few teams that called that inquired. I'm not sure if it was for an extension, as a rental, as or just asking if I would be willing to go there. So for me, I didn't really have to deal with all of that. I try to keep my focus on the Canucks and try to help us get back in the playoff picture, and my agent did the rest. Well, that's huge. That's huge for me. I said it all along, like, I care a lot about hockey. That's probably my number one priority besides my family, and I wanted to go to a team that was a good fit for me hockey-wise, but at the same time family-wise. And I think there wasn't really a perfect situation, but I think Ottawa was pretty close to perfect for me, close to home, back east. My parents will be able to watch games at 7 instead of 10 o'clock. It's going to be an easy drive for my friends to come down, my family to come down to Ottawa and cheer me on. So there is a lot. It's a Canadian city, Canadian market, and I like their team. I really believe that they have a shot at winning. Their window is just opening right now. They got a lot of good pieces. I've watched them play a few games, and they seem to have a total buy-in of what Guy Boucher is selling. They're playing well, playing the right way, and that's really interesting for me. And I could really see the Sens and myself come out of the division if we get the playoff, if everything goes accordingly.
What about the season that you're having, kind of a bounce back after some injuries before? And you've always been a good playoff player. What do you think the Sens are getting in Alex Burrows?
Well, I'll try to bring my game. I'll try to bring some leadership. I'll try to bring some passion to the game, some intensity. Wherever Guy feels I fit in the lineup, it's up to him. It don't really matter to me if I'm on any line. I'm going to try to contribute to the team's success. I truly believe that if everybody pushes in the right direction and believes that they can get there, that's how you accomplish some big things. So I'm going to go in, try to be a good teammate, work hard, and fit wherever they need me to play.
Alex, is it a little sentimental or surreal that you're being reunited with Mark Crawford?
A little bit. But Crow was a big part of my career, too. Like, without Crow, I probably would not have even have played in the NHL. So he's my first NHL coach that believed in me or saw something in me. And now, 12, 13 years later, we'll be reunited in Ottawa. And I'm looking forward to it because he's one of the coaches that taught me how to play the game the right way or bring the passion every night. And I'm looking forward to meeting him again.
Pierre told reporters in Tampa, Pierre Dorian told reporters in Tampa that he thought that you had turned down trades to other teams in the Atlantic Division. Can you say if there were other offers that you turned down?
I don't even think it got, like, obviously there were teams that for family reasons, for personal reasons, for career reasons that weren't probably on my list or I would not have considered going, even if they had inquired or made a push. But I don't think anything really close came to it. Or I think for me, there were a few teams I inquired. I thought about the pros and cons of a few teams and what was the best for myself, career-wise, and my family. And I think Ottawa, I made the right decision with Ottawa.
You played for Guy at the World Championships, right? How was that relationship, and did that make it easier knowing the coach? And have you spoken to him yet?
Yeah, I spoke to him yesterday. He's a really intense coach, really passionate about the game, really detail-oriented. He's really, I think he's got a total buy-in from his hockey club. You can see what he's done with some of their players, the way Carlson's playing right now, the way he's handled his team all year. I think they're looking really strong, playing well. And for me, I'm looking forward to get to know him even more and learn from him as a coach.
Alex, was there a moment yesterday, it seemed like you were kind of just sitting by yourself with the skills comp. Did you know yesterday, was there a moment you kind of let it all sink in?
I didn't know if it's going to happen or not. I knew it was a possibility. I tried to enjoy it as much as I could yesterday. I think in the last few weeks, even to another level, I told myself all year to try to enjoy it, try to have fun, even though sometimes some nights was tougher than other. But we have a good group here in Vancouver too. Guys were great all year, great teammates, guys that care, guys that want to win. And I think yesterday it was for the fans mostly. I think a lot of people came to the Super Skills, are people that normally don't come to our game, and to I'll see all the kids out there having fun and watching us compete. I remember I was that kid one day, and I used to love to go and cheer on the Canadians, and now yesterday I was just trying to have fun and put on a good show.
Jim said that you agreed to waive this morning, so why did you still practice?
Well, I agreed post practice, so I signed the paperwork post practice, so I don't think that was an issue. It was still up in the air. Waking up this morning, my main focus was to have a good practice, good workout, and get ready for tomorrow night's game. But once practice was over and after lunch, then started eating up or conversations with my agent and Jim and Pierre got some traction, and then I met with Jim and Trevor, and that's about it.
Have you had a chance to talk to any of your now former Canuck teammates? I know it's been pretty immediate, but what's that been like?
It's been crazy. I had a ortho appointment from 2 to 3, so I went from lunch to there, and then I came here, so went home and changed and came here. So I've been really, my phone's loaded with messages right now. I'm going to get back to everybody tonight after I'm done my suitcases. And I got to thank a lot of my teammates. They've been so supportive all along, like even meeting with Danny and Hank this morning after it got emotional a little bit. They were a big part of my career. I'm going to miss them, and not only on the ice, but just off the ice, how good guys they are, how much they care about this city, this team, how much they want to succeed for this organization. And there's a lot of younger guys that just started meeting the last few years, and they care a lot about this team, and I'm going to miss them. It's going to be hard watching them on TV. I'm going to watch a lot of their games, trust me, and I'm going to wish them the best of luck. But now I got to move on and start focusing on my next challenge, and that's to help the Senators win a Stanley Cup.
Just to expand on that, Alex, now that you are moving on, is it that much more fitting to you and maybe Danny and Hank that you played your last game as a Canuck on a line with those two?
Yeah, Hank said at least we scored our last game, so no, it's a little fitting, I guess so. Maybe full circle, or I don't know how to call it. I don't know if Willie had seen something coming more than we did. They're great players, they're great guys, and they're great friends. And even if we're on different teams, I'm still going to keep in touch with them, hopefully. And it's only a couple of years, so who knows? We might be back in a few years all together in Vancouver doing something else.
Justement, Ottawa, les sénateurs, qu'est-ce que vous attend personnellement et professionnellement là-bas?
Mais professionnellement, évidemment, les sénateurs présentement sont dans une belle course pour les séries éliminatoires. C'est une très bonne équipe. C'est une équipe que leur fenêtre d'opportunité à gagner la Coupe Stanley s'ouvre présentement. Ils ont plusieurs excellents morceaux pour avoir du succès à court, moyen et long terme. Et pour moi, c'est quelque chose qui est excitant, ça, de pouvoir me joindre à un groupe qui joue bien présentement, qui semble avoir un très bon entraîneur qui dirige très bien l'équipe. Il joue de la bonne manière, il trouve différents moyens de gagner des matchs. Et pour moi, d'être capable de me joindre à un groupe comme ça qui ont des aspirations pour la Coupe Stanley, c'est très excitant.
Alex,
personnellement, je vais être plus près de la maison, plus de temps sûrement à voir mes parents, mes soeurs, mes amis. C'est seulement 1h30 de route de la maison que je suis certain que mes parents vont venir souvent à des matchs et évidemment vont se coucher moins tard pour regarder les matchs à la télévision.
Alex, 2 quick questions. First of all, if there was an extension in place, was there a time you thought maybe you'd move on and come back to the Vancouver Canucks in the summer? Was that a thought of yours at all?
I don't even. It was a thought process. I thought about it. Maybe I should come back to Van and stuff like that, but I don't think that opportunity presented itself. So talking to my agent, the feeling was I think Vancouver might not be in a possibility moving forward long term. And then there was other possibility around the league, but not so in Vancouver.
You know anybody? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to know your family's reaction as well.
A little bit like mine, a little shocked when I text my girlfriend, my wife, sorry about my wife, that we were the deal was done. She was shocked a little bit. She couldn't really believe it, but she's great. She's been unreal, supporting me for 12 years. She raises our kids every day while we're on the road. She does an incredible job. And she's going to be supportive moving forward, too. So I'm probably going to be leaving tomorrow. She's probably going to be leaving next week. And meet me in Ottawa, and we're going to try to find a new home and find a new schools and get the kids ready for school.
Good.
No, it's difficult for sure. Like, Vancouver's means a lot to me. This organization's been so good to me for a long time, and it's difficult because our ultimate goal, I remember, was to win a Stanley Cup, and I almost feel that I failed at that challenge, and it's a little sad. It's like it stinks. I wish I could have kept playing and try to push for that Stanley Cup. That being said, it might not be the end. You never know. Could come back down the line, and never know what the future can hold. But for me, it's the end of a chapter. That's how it goes normally around the league. You know, you won't play forever, so it's part of the business that sometimes you're going to get moved and traded, and I totally understand that.
Do you know anybody on that roster?
I know a few guys. I've played with Turris, Finef. At somewhere else, I know there's Derek Brassard, Pajot. I know. I know a few guys on their roster. I think they got a lot of good pieces. With Carlson, that might be one of the best defensemen in the league. Anderson's playing great. Brassard, Turris, Stones, great player. I don't really know him, but I'm really looking forward to watch him play closely because from the outside, he looks like a really good player.
Have you heard from Strombone 1?
No, not yet. But I don't know. I have so many texts that I expect that I'm going to hear from a Strombone for sure. He might already text, but I don't know if they're playing tonight or not.
Alex, the majority of Canucks fans that your Game 7 overtime goal against the Hawks was their favorite moment. What was your favorite moment, you personally, when you were on the ice with the Canucks?
There's a few for sure, but I mentioned the other night, for me, it was the Kevin Bieksa Game 5 against San Jose Conference Final goal. Just knowing that we were going to Stanley Cup, and we had a few injuries. A second overtime game, guys were tired. It was a grind, and the Sharks were a big, heavy team, and they were good. And we were able to just get past them and win the Western Conference and move on to the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Stanley Cup final. And I remember all the paper were falling from the ceiling, and could barely skate because there was paper all over the ice. So no, that was probably one of my favorite moments for sure. Ouais.
Est-ce qu'on peut faire 5 minutes là ou pas?
Pardon?
T'as 5 minutes là si tout le monde a fini pour quelques... Parce que la radio aimerait bien vous avoir. Le dernier Canucks.
Radio, French.
Okay. Comment réagissent vos coéquipiers?
J'ai pas vraiment eu la chance de parler à trop de mes coéquipiers. Évidemment, lorsque j'ai quitté l'amphithéâtre ce matin, il y a plusieurs joueurs qui étaient déjà partis. Donc, j'ai pas eu la chance de les saluer trop. J'ai eu plusieurs messages textes que j'ai pas eu encore la chance de répondre à tous les messages. Donc, je vais m'occuper de ça ce soir après avoir fait mes valises. C'est pas un au revoir pour toujours. Là. On se perd en tant que coéquipier, mais on se perd pas en tant qu'ami. Puis les liens d'amitié que j'ai pu former dans les dernières années vont continuer et nous allons continuer de s'écrire et se supporter.
Alex, I just had one quick clarification. Did you speak with Guy Boucher yesterday, you said, on the phone?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.